Hi there and welcome back. So in this beautiful video, we wanted to talk about a comment that we received a while back, but it was more about being alone, feeling alone. We wanted to address this topic today. And I didn't feel the need to bring up the comment because I know a lot of people feel this way. I did for a really long time. And this loneliness, because you can live alone and not feel lonely. Loneliness comes from a place where we feel separate. It's a beautiful human experience. It's the only place where you can feel separate from God, from Spirit. When you leave here, you are one with Spirit again. But this is the only place that creates this gorgeous illusion that we are separate. And when we are so engrossed in this human experience of how separate we are from God, how far away God is, that's when we get to experience loneliness, how alone we are in the world. Now, with this beautiful topic, so much is coming up. The first thing is, you can be surrounded by family. You can be surrounded by friends and still feel that you are alone in the world. I know, because I went through this in my first depression. I was surrounded by family and I was surrounded by friends. And I had never felt so alone in the world. And I had a gorgeous boyfriend at the time that loved me. We'd been together for about 4 or 5 years by then, I think. We'd been together a while. We were high school sweethearts. So I had love there. It wasn't like I was pining for my soul partner. I believed at the time that he was it. I had everything. And yet I sunk into a depression because I had never felt so alone in this world. I had grown up in the Catholic Church and they had taught us that God was all the way up there, sitting on his high and mighty throne, waiting to judge us the day we die, waiting for Judgment Day. That was God. That was my concept of God. I could not have been more separate. Growing up, I didn't know anything about the angels. In church, they didn't talk about them. They talked about the saints a lot. But we never talked about angels. We didn't know anything about them. Not at the church I went to anyway. The Catholic churches I went to never mentioned. But they all mentioned how separate we were from God. And that was an experience I came to have. I know that. To be in that beautiful illusion that you are separate from God. So, feeling alone doesn't mean that you have no one around you. For me, feeling alone was like I was speaking one language and all the people around me were speaking a different language, and we just weren't understanding each other. And this language was not the language of English or Spanish or words. This language was energetic. I didn't know it at the time. I know it now. I was yearning to feel loved at the time, but more than that, I was yearning to give my love. And it felt that at every turn, this love was rejected. No matter who it was I was trying to give it to, nobody wanted it. Everyone was caught up in their own dramas, in their own little world. And one day I woke up and just realized inside I was screaming, but no one could hear me. So, my beautiful beings, feeling alone doesn't come from the people that are in your life. Having a lot of people or having a few close people, it doesn't come from that. For me, I stopped feeling alone the moment I woke up. My first awakening after my daughter was born, because I believed for so long that this beautiful being was going to come into my life and I would finally feel loved. I'd finally be able to give my love and it would be accepted. And I would be whole and complete. My life would be a rainbow. Those were my beliefs. And I'd been waiting over 15 years to have this beautiful daughter, have this child. I have a daughter now, that's why, I said daughter, but at the time I didn't know what I would be having. And she came, and nothing changed. I still felt all alone inside. I still felt this disconnect from the people around me. I felt separate from everyone around me. And it wasn't until I realized that this love that I was yearning for my whole life was not from out there. It wasn't from my mum, even though that was a belief I had for so long. If she could only love me, I would be whole and complete. And she served me beautifully in every moment that I was yearning for that love, and that love would be rejected. Perfectly. Because what happens when that happens over and over and over again? You can keep going back to that, but it's not working for a reason. Because maybe that's not the way. You ever find yourself in patterns? Certain things just keep coming up. You change jobs, but that person that you were trying to avoid in the previous job somehow miraculously shows up in the new job. Or a neighbor all of a sudden keeps bringing this pattern in. Or a partner, you find you get the same partner every time. It's not coincidence that these people keep bringing this up for you. And it's because they're pointing you towards you. You are the question, and you are the answer. You are the problem, and you are the solution. Your beautiful human experience you came to have. When you look at what keeps showing up for you, and you start to question, why is this here? Not from the perspective of the ego. The ego will keep you separate forever. That's the ego's job, to keep you in this simulation, to keep you in your human experience. That's the job of the ego. And it does an amazing job. It is when you start to look within your heart, and you begin to look at your human experience. And you begin to question from a bigger space, from the space of love, from the space of spirit, from the space of your soul. Why is this here? Why am I being rejected again? Why? Why can't this person love me? It's not because there's something wrong with you. It has nothing to do with that. It's because your heart is yearning for you to love it. Not for someone outside. Not for your mum, not for your dad, not for your children. You are it. You are what it wants. Your heart, your beautiful heart, wants you to love it. It wants you to love your whole human experience as it is, without judgment. This is what I came to experience. The moment you realize that the love you've been searching for your whole life is your love for yourself, you will never, ever, ever feel alone ever again. The parts of you that you can't love, the parts of you that you judge, that are bad or that are wrong, you don't allow others to love because you're ashamed of those parts. You feel guilty about that. And so you close that part off. You don't want people to see that. But all of this makes you who you are today. All of it. The parts you're ashamed of, the parts you feel guilty of, the parts you feel are wrong, are bad, mistakes. The things we call mistakes. We're all part of your beautiful human journey. All of it. There are no mistakes. You were meant to go through it. For so long, for so many years, I kept calling my first relationship a mistake. I lost 8 years. Lost. That's how I felt. To this person. And it didn't work out. We broke up. And I'd felt like it was a mistake. I had invested all my time, all my love, all my effort into this one person. Given up so much of myself to be with this one person. I made him my priority. My life was whatever he wanted. Not because he asked, but because that's what I thought love was. You give up everything for the person you love. You give up who you are for the person you love. This was my belief growing up, because this is what I was taught at home. So that keeps you trapped. It keeps you trapped, that belief that that's what love looks like. Because I realize the more I'm able to love myself, the more I love all the parts, every bit, even my beautiful anger that I spoke of when I got home on Monday and I just all over everybody. All of it. When you can love all of it, you expand and you allow love to come in. Because you know that's part of me, and that's part of me, and that's part of me, and that's part of me. And it all makes up me, all of it. But it's being able to look at it without judgment. The moment we start to judge that it's wrong or that it's bad, when we start to judge, that's when we can't love. The judgment keeps the love at bay. The two cannot be. I love this gorgeous quote from Mother Teresa. If you are judging, you are not loving. You can't love something when you are judging it, because you are putting it in the space of it's good, it's bad, it's right, it's wrong. You are categorizing, you are labeling for the ego to file it away somewhere. But love just is. Love just is. It's not right, it's not wrong. It's not good, it's not bad. It just is what it is. Love knows what you've been through. Love knows why you have these traits. Love knows where they came from. And love knows that this is who you chose to be in this lifetime. In any given moment, you can choose something else. There's nothing stopping you from choosing to be something else. It's like the beautiful video of Would you rather be right or would you rather be at peace? That is a choice right there. And we make that choice every day when we hold grudges because we'd rather be right. And it's the same as the judging and the loving. You can't be right and be at peace at the same time. It just doesn't work. If you're right and you're making someone else wrong, you're holding a grudge. And if you're holding a grudge, you can't be at peace. So, my beautiful beings, this gorgeous video about being alone is a choice. We came here to know what it is to feel alone. And I know because I felt that way for such a long time. For such a long time. It's 40 plus years of feeling that I'm all alone in this world and that I have to do everything myself. Again, all beautiful traits passed down from my mum because she lost her parents at the age of 5 and that's how she felt. All alone and abandoned in the world and that she has to do everything for herself. There's no one there anymore. There's no support. And so I took on those traits as a little one. I have to do everything myself. And the experience served me perfectly. My parents didn't know how to speak English when they came to Australia and I was starting school and somehow I learned how to read. I'm guessing by the Australian neighbours that used to mind me when I was little. Maybe they helped me, they taught me how to read. But once I started school, I had to do it all myself. I didn't get help at home with any of my homework or understanding any of the work we were doing at school. I had to figure it out. I was on my own. I had no help, no support. And this was the experience I came to have. Being a perfectionist, I get that from my dad. And that took such a long time to let go of that. You know how many times I have to talk to myself as I'm going through things? It's it, that's it. It doesn't have to be perfect, just that's it. Because if you wait for things to be perfect, you'll never do it. You'll never move forward. I would never publish a video if it had to be perfect. I just have to accept that that's the information that needs to go out today and that someone will need it. At some point they will find it and just click that publish button. Same with the books. If I was waiting for the perfect words for every single book, none of these would be published. It comes a point after editing and editing and editing, there's only so much editing you can do, that you have to release it out into the world and say, okay, that's it. It's done. It's not about being perfect. Being human is not about being perfect. We are already that in our natural state. And in our natural state, we are already one with Source and Spirit, the universal life force, energy, whatever you want to call it, God. You're already one. You already know this through and through. So we come here to know, what does it feel like to be alone and not connected to Source? What does it feel like that I have to do everything myself? I can't rely on anyone else. I don't have anyone else. What does that feel like? Outside of this simulation, you are so supported. You are so loved. And even in this simulation, whenever I see someone in the hospital or someone is sick, I see them surrounded by their beautiful relatives that have passed. And I see ancestors way, way back, way past the relatives that they know are there. And for some, I see angels, I see other beings. And I'm comforted in those moments. I know we are never alone, not for 1 second. But this is the experience you came to have. What does it feel like to be alone? To feel lonely? What does that feel like? This is the human experience. So love all of it, my beautiful beings. Love all of it. We came here to experience all of it. All right, my beautiful beings. Know in your heart, feel into it. I am never alone because I'm always connected to God. I'm always connected to Spirit. Energetically, you are always one with Spirit. You are never separate, not for 1 second, even if it seems that way here. All right, my beautiful beings, I love you dearly. Remember to click like and subscribe so you don't miss any of the messages. And share these beautiful videos. It's okay to feel alone. It's okay. It's what you came to experience. And if it's something that is so important to you that you don't want to feel lonely anymore, reach out. There are so many people out there that feel the same. They feel the same way. Reach out. You will find other beings. All right, my beautiful beings. Bye for now.